Hola, ¿qué tal todos? Profesor Pablo here, lesson 175, sentence starters, impersonal expressions, plus the past subjunctive, verb number 9. We already did these in the present subjunctive, like es necesario, es bueno, es malo, es posible. Now, we're going to do them in the past subjunctive. Now, the past subjunctive is the last of the verb tenses. We have verb number 0 is infinitive. Verb number 1 is the ando, yendo, the ing, what we call the present participle. Verb number 2 is the ado, ido, the ed form, the past participle. Verb number 3 is the present tense. Verb number 4 is the past preterite. Verb number 5 is the past imperfect. Verb number 6 is the future. Verb number 7 is the conditional. Verb number 8 is the present subjunctive. And our last one is verb number 9, the past subjunctive. When you have a verb, you can do one of 10 things to it, anywhere from 0 to 9. And we're finally at the end of the road. We have 6 lessons left, and we will be done with our sentence starters, and then you'll be ready to move on to another section in Profesor Pablo Spanish Learning Systems. Okay, now, the past subjunctive, okay, well, we don't know really anything about it. We used it when we did that lesson with I wish I could to say, okay, pudiera. The pudiera is in the past subjunctive, verb number 9. Let's just take a look here in red. Let's take a look at what we have. And again, it's a car that hitched the trailer. The car here is era necesario, era bueno, era malo, era posible, and so on. And the hitch, again, is the word que. And then the trailer now would be verb number 9, the past subjunctive. Let's just scoot down below key point. Well, let's go to key points. It says, for the past subjunctive, verb number 9, the easiest way to select the correct verb conjugation is to take the ellos past preterite conjugation, verb tense number 4, then change the final O to an A and use it as your base for the past subjunctive. There are no exceptions. Now I explain it to you and you're thinking, what? Okay, you just heard it. A little more explanation, and then we're going to drill it in with example. Key point number 2. All past subjunctive conjugations are based on the ellos, past preterite, verb number 4 conjugation. And point number 3, all the above sentence starters can begin with fue, but era is much more common. The difference between the two lies with past preterite, verb number 4, versus past imperfect, verb number 5. We're going to go with era. All right, now, let's look at our examples of past preterite, verb number 4, to past subjunctive, verb number 9 conversion. Hablar. The they or you plural form is hablaron. We take that O of hablaron and we change it to hablaran, and from that we form all 5 forms of the past subjunctive, no exception. So look at it. Hablara, hablaras, hablara, habláramos, hablaran. There's an accent in the we form. Comer. They ate is comieron. We change that O to an A and we roll with it. Comiera, comieras, comiera, comiéramos, comieran. Let's take salir. The ellos form of the preterite is salieron. We change that O to an A. Saliera, 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 saliéramos, salieran. Ir. They went is fueron with an O. We change the O to an A. We have fuera, fueras, fuera, fuéramos, fueran. The verb ser is the same as the verb ir. Fueron to fueran, to fuera, fueras, fuera, fuéramos, fueran. So ser and ir are identical. Let's go to leer. Leer we know is a Y verb, and the preterite is leyeron. Change that O to an A, leyeran. Remember, if you want quick review and quick explanation and a visual aid, go to Section 8 of Profesor Pablo Spanish Learning Systems, and you will see all the verb charts you need. Go to the present subjunctive. It's a full page. It shows you everything broken down on how to conjugate these, okay? All the verb tenses are there, and all sorts of other verb conjugations that we use as we speak Spanish on a daily basis. Everything is there, clearly explained, listed. It will help you immensely if you need help on conjugating in the present subjunctive or in the past subjunctive, preterite, imperfect, whatever it may be. So we just did leer. It's a Y verb. On that chart, you would see leyeron. So you would take the O and change it to an A, and that would give you leyera, leyeras, leyera, leyeramos, leyeran. Dar is irregular in the predicate. It's dieron. Change the O to A. Diera, dieras, diera, dieramos, dieran. Dormir. It's durmieron. Change that O to an A, and you have durmieran. Durmiera, durmieras, durmiera, durmieramos, and durmieran. All right, let's take a look at our verb conjugations. We have all sorts of other examples here. Hablar is regular, so look. Hablara, hablaras, hablara, habláramos, hablaran. Comer is regular. Comiera, comieras, comiera, comiéramos, comieran. Tener, it's irregular in the preterite. It's tuvieron, so it's tuviera, tuvieras, tuviera, tuviéramos, tuvieran. Hacer in the preterite. Go to your verb chart in the preterite if you need help. Again, it's hicieron, so we're going to be hiciera, hicieras, hiciera, hiciéramos, hicieran. Conocer, conociera, conocieras, conociera, conociéramos, conocieran. Ir en ser, fuera, fueras, fuera, fuéramos, fueran. Dar, diera, dieras, diera, diéramos, dieran. Ver, to see, viera, vieras, viera, viéramos, vieran. So now you're getting the idea. It's either going to be like ara or iera or ara. You're going to hear ara or iera. Ara, iera, ara, iera, ara, iera. Okay, so you're familiarizing yourself with that sound. Ara, iera. You hear that on the end of the verb, and that's verb tense number 9, the most complex verb in the Spanish language. Let's go to saber. The preterite is supieron. Change the O to an A. Supiera, 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 supieramos, supieran. Llegar is a regular verb. Llegara, llegaras, llegara, llegáramos, llegaran. Empezar, regular for all intents and purposes in the past subjunctive. Empezara, empezaras, empezara, empezáramos, empezaran. Poder is pudieron. Change the O to A. Pudiera, pudieras, pudiera, pudiéramos, pudieran. Remember we had the lesson, I wish I could, deseo que pudiera. Well, there's pudiera right here. Servir, E to I. Sirviera, 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 sirviéramos, sirvieran. Dormir. Okay, we got durmieron, so you change that O to durmieran. Durmiera, durmieras, durmiera, durmiéramos, durmieran. Continuar, continuara, continuaras, continuara, continuáramos, continuaran. Now we have seguir. Siguieron, change that O to an A. Siguiera, 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 siguiéramos, siguieran. Recoger, the G does not change to a J. Recogiera, recogieras, recogiera, recogiéramos, recogieran. Haber, the preterite is hubieron with an O. Hubiera, hubieras, hubiera, hubiéramos, and hubieran. Now we have leer again. It's a Y verb, leyeron. So it's leyera, leyeras, leyera, leyéramos, leyeran. And caerse as well is a Y verb. Me cayera, te cayera, se cayera, nos cayéramos, and se cayeran. Okay, I have so many charts. When you get to section, let's see what it is. Profesor Pablo Spanish Learning Systems, you get to section number 7 with the grammar. There will be explanations there as well for present and past subjunctive. When you go to the verb charts and I explain those to you, you'll find that extremely helpful. Now we have infinitives. Let's see what we have here. To rest a while, descansar un rato, pensarlo, ahorrar dinero, quedarse, ir a la tienda, verlo hoy, salir a correr, ir al partido, comer algo, buscar un trabajo, ganar, irse, salir, llamar, decir esas cosas, llegar temprano, estar allí, dormir, despertarse temprano, estar en casa, verla hoy, salir a cenar, acostarse, tomar algo, encontrar un trabajo, perder, sentarse, venir, notificar, and hacer esas cosas. Okay, very good. Now let's go up to the top in red. Let's look at all of our sentence starters. It was necessary that, era necesario que. It was good that, era bueno que. It was bad that, era malo que. It was possible that, era posible que. It was impossible that, era imposible que. It was important that, era importante que. It was likely that, era probable que. It was dangerous that, era peligroso que. It was sad that, era triste que. It was incredible that, era increíble que. It was time that, era hora que. It was dumb that, era estúpido que. It was a shame that, era lástima que. It was better that, era mejor que. It was madness, it was crazy that, era una locura que. It was scary that, era miedoso que. And it was ridiculous that, era ridículo que. All right, let's drop down to our examples. Our first one is, it was sad that she couldn't go. So, era triste que, ella no, ara y era, right? If it's an AR verb, it's going to be like ara. If it's an ER or IR verb, it's going to end like iera in sound. So this one would be, it was sad that she couldn't go. Era triste que no pudiera ir. Pudiera ir. It was scary that they did that. Era miedoso que hicieran eso. Hicieran. It was important that kids read. Era importante que los niños leyeran. It could also be, it was important for the kids to read. Era importante que los niños leyeran. It wasn't possible for us to go. Now here's the verb ir. Remember, ir and ser both have fuera, and they're the same for each. It wasn't possible that we went, or it wasn't possible for us to go. No era posible que fuéramos. It was bad that he didn't take care of himself. Era malo que no se cuidara. Ara y era. The ending is going to be some form of ara for AR verbs, generally speaking, and some form of iera for ER and IR verbs, generally speaking. The next to last one, it was stupid that they said things like that. Era estúpido que dijeran cosas así. Remember, decir in the preterite is a J verb. Dijeron, change the O to A. There you go. Era estúpido que dijeran esas cosas. And finally, it was dangerous for them to drive like that. Era peligroso que manejaran así. Or, era peligroso que condujeran así. Let's go back to our examples. It was necessary for me to be there. Era necesario que yo estuviera allí. It was necessary for me not to say anything. Era necesario que yo no dijera nada with a J. It was necessary for me to pay this morning. Era necesario que yo pagara esta mañana. Remember your endings, ara yera, ara yera, ara yera, ara yera. Era bueno que, it was good that he didn't lie. Era bueno que no mintiera. It was good for us to read a lot of books. Era bueno que leyéramos muchos libros. Leyéramos, Leyeramos, accent on the E after the Y, leyéramos. No era posible, it wasn't possible for me to go. No era posible que yo fuera. It wasn't possible for mom to go. No era posible que mamá fuera. Let's go down to era importante que. It was important for me to be there. Era importante que yo estuviera allí. It was important for you to get home on time. Era importante que llegaras a casa a tiempo. Or, era importante que llegaras a tiempo a casa. It was sad that she couldn't go. Era triste que no pudiera ir. It was dangerous for her to drive so fast. Era peligroso que ella manejara tan rápido. Or, era peligroso que ella condujera tan rápido. It was a shame that he didn't have any money. Era lástima que no tuviera dinero. It was a shame that he didn't understand. Era lástima que no comprendiera. And it was crazy for them to say that. Era una locura que dijeran eso. All right, That's a whole lot here. Past subjunctive, verb number 9. I would highly recommend that you go into Profesor Pablo Spanish Learning Systems, go to section 8, go to the verb charts, and look up the verb chart for past subjunctive, and you'll see it all explained from the very regular verbs to anything that's irregular or different. Okay? All right, great job with the past subjunctive. Lesson number 175 is in the books. Hasta pronto, hasta la próxima lección. This is Profesor Pablo signing off. Cambio fuera.